here we go. We're kind of introducing the idea of sig figs and their rules. The rules are fairly simple, and we're going to take these one at a time off of a sheet called Counting Figures, Significant Figures, the easy way. So, first off, our very first rule, and I think most people know this already, always non-zero numbers count. And you'll notice here I have always, never, see this is Never Never Land, yeah. This is sometimers. Sometimes they count, sometimes they don't. And this is always they count. So there's two rules about things that always count. So we'll take them starting with this one. Always count non-zero numbers. So what do you think? How many sig figs in that first number there? Yeah. So we just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And why do they all count? They're all non-zero. Excellent. Okay, so that one's 7. Now, let's go down here to this guy. Rule 2. Let's look at the rule. Never count leading zeros. That means zeros to the left of the first non-zero digit in the number.
4.
So, what do you think? How many sig figs here?
4.
Okay, so these zeros don't count?
No.
Why don't they count?
It's on the left side.
On the left side, we count we call those.
They're leading zeros.
We call those leading zeros. Okay, good. So that guy is 4. How about this guy? Oh, we got a decimal there. Now, how many sig figs do we have?
4.
Oh, I didn't catch any of you.
6.
Oh, I caught one. Okay. That just because there's a decimal there doesn't mean that it's not a leading zero. Okay? So what we're doing is we're training your eyes to see the things that are part of this rule. And so these leading zeros don't count, so how many sig figs do we actually have?
4.
Yeah, okay? And it's logical to think we would have 4 plus 2 because these guys are to the right of a decimal. Okay? So just helping you to understand that that is not going to happen. The leading zeros, even if they're to the right of a decimal, and what makes a leading zero? It's on the left of the first non-zero number. So everything to the left of this that's zeros, as long as we don't get to a non-zero number, if there's leading zeros, they never count. Okay, so what about this guy?
4.
Excellent. 4. What about this guy?
4.
Still 4. Yes. What about this guy?
4.
Still 4. All right. And what about this guy?
4.
Yeah. Okay, and here? Ooh, trailing zeros. Now we got to look at the rule for trailing zeros. This is rule 3A. Sometimes we count trailing zeros. Zeros to the right of the last non-zero digit in the number. So, what makes them count? No decimal, no county. Get a decimal, we get to county them. Yeah. So, these guys don't count if they have no decimal. So, is this guy, are these 3 zeros going to count or not?
No.
Nope, they do not count. So, how many sig figs? 4. Good. Okay, I hope you people at home who are watching this video are doing the same thing that I'm doing and not revealing those numbers, because if you try to reveal those numbers before you think a little bit, you won't get a thing out of it. Anyway, we're at rule 3B now. 3B says if there is a decimal, we're going to count those little buckaroos. So, yeah, we got 7 there. How about this guy?
7. More than 7.
Okay, let's count it. Do the trailing zeros count?
Yes.
Do the leading zeros count?
No.
No. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sig figs. Are you good? Okay, these things are a little tricky, and you just have to keep your head on straight and remember what leading and trailing zeros are, and the trailing zeros will only count when we have a decimal. Okay, here we go. Are these trailing zeros going to count?
We can't see.
Oops. Okay, good. So the trailing zeros are definitely going to count here because there's a what? Decimal. Okay, so that's 7. Do these trailing zeros count? Absolutely. 7 again. Do these trailing zeros count? Absolutely, they do. Ah, what about this? Oh, zeros in the middle. Do they count?
No. No.
Let's look at rule 4. What does it say? Always count what? Zeros that are not leading and not trailing. Okay? That means they're in the middle, right? And so these guys being in the middle, in some rules that you'll see about sig figs, they call these captured zeros. You ever heard that term?
We took over them.
Captured. Yeah, it got taken over. Okay, so how many sig figs here?
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely. Okay, how about this guy?
9.
Yeah, they all count, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, how about this one?
11.
All the zeros count. Are you guys looking at the numbers?
Maybe.
You're popping up with those number of sig figs too easily. You got to count these guys to be sure. Here, let's go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got to do it. Okay, how about this guy? 8, yes. And those zeros are definitely counting. And these zeros, they count?
Yeah.
You bet they do. And that's going to be a total of 10. How about this last one?
8.
They all count. So, are you feeling more solid on the business of how many sig figs you have in a given number? Now, we're going to go and use these rules in the stuff that we're going to do next. But this is the end of the video for this section. I've got what we recorded next, or what is the next part of what I did, or what I'm going to do in another video, and that is also on tonight's homework page, and you'll be able to see it there.